suggested some sort of brand extension.
Ruthless aggression. Allow me to introduce you to the new general manager of Raw, Eric Bischoff.
Who in the green hell are you?
I lie, I cheat, I steal. And at WrestleMania,
I just hear myself say 3 minutes.
well, let me tell you something, brother.
Whoa.
Hello and welcome to Dits versus Josh. And you might be a little bit confused because usually we alternate intros. However, there is a reason I'm doing it again, and it is because I've won again. 6-1 to your boy Dits. How you feeling, Josh? You gutted? Still gutted. I ask you every week. Of course you're gutted.
Well, I don't know. You never annihilate me. It's always close. So, I don't know. I can't lose this week. I can't. It's physically impossible for me to lose. So, at least there's that to look forward to next
You take
week.
whatever small victories you can get.
Absolutely, I do.
But we have to decide whether, well, what we watched this week, rather than SmackDown and Raw, was a victory in the shape of Judgment Day.
Jesus.
It was interesting.
You were hyping it up, not me. You were hyping it up. You were like, this show's
You agreed.
I was like, yeah. You, though, were like, this show's going to be... Because the card did look good. On paper, it looked fine.
Yeah, and it was okay. It wasn't Backlash bad.
I don't think Backlash was terrible. Just the last few matches of Backlash was really bad.
I think, well, funny enough, Judgment Day involves the same people where I think it falls a little
Actually,
flat.
Not wrong. Completely not wrong. I guess, obviously we'll watch Raw and SmackDown again next week and be back on that. But we're going to try and... I think with Backlash we did this. I'll kind of take control of the Raw matches and you take control of the SmackDown matches. And then where it's kind of crossed, we'll just kind of talk about them, I guess. Yeah.
But I will throw a caveat in the ring, though, is I watched this this morning, and I was up at 6:30 with the kids, and I fell asleep a lot during Judgment Day. So I'm going to be calling you in for a lot of my SmackDown stuff because I was just it's a blur. I watched it this morning, and the whole thing is just non-existent in my mind.
Don't worry, I watched it at about midday yesterday, and it's a blur to me too. So I've got a cheat sheet. I sent Dits this cheat sheet. But we did watch the show, but it's just, I mean, it's not like something that was just like, touching my willy to get it to, go for me. It wasn't happening. It wasn't like the greatest of shows. But, it did start well. We may as well get started. We had an Intercontinental Championship match to kick it off. Eddie Guerrero and RVD. It was a good little start. They had a match at Backlash, didn't they? I think.
It was a very good match at Backlash.
Yeah, they had a good match at Backlash, and
because Edge and Angle stole the show for me at Backlash. But I remember we said right literally
after.
Eddie RVD was like
That's right.
So close behind it,
and it was fine. It was it wasn't as good as their match at Backlash, I don't think.
No, it wasn't, and the finish was a bit.
I liked the finish because it was very Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, I guess, but is this thing going to carry on now? You've had two pay-per-view matches with
and
both.
And they had a match at Insurrection that we didn't watch, but I had watched previously, and obviously they told me about it on Raw. They had this exact same match at Insurrection. It was nearly spot for spot the same.
Oh.
Nearly spot for spot, except for the finish was a little different. Because it was only for the international audience, I guess they were just we'll just do it for this.
As far as an opener goes,
oh yeah, it was a good little
it
started the show off nicely, and I was like, okay, we're into something. Eddie ended up winning, obviously, like we said, backslide ropes deal thing.
Yeah, kind of slammed straight into the ropes, bang, backslide. victory.
I like a good
No-
backslide. Not enough people do them, I don't think. Everyone goes for
Do
the
we?
old schoolboy, and then or like a good O'Connor roll. Let's get some O'Connor rolls in here. You know, like the Scoopy Doop in a whoop whoop. If that makes any sense. But backslides. When do people just go for like, you know, when someone's distracted, you always go for a schoolboy, don't you? It's never a backslide.
A schoolboy is not that effective when you really look at it. It's just like, how are people getting pinned
because no one
by
actually
this
fucking
shit?
does it properly. Because a schoolboy, essentially, isn't it meant to be like, so they hook them and they're just like tuck them under? But aren't you meant to lay? If you laid on top of someone, the only person I ever seen it do this way was Eva Marie. But it made sense. I was like, why wouldn't you lay on their legs? It'd be harder than for them to get up. Eva Marie, 5-star wrestling wizard.
Well, it shows that she focused on like the simple wrestling moves, which nobody else does. It's dedication to the craft.
Listen, we know what wrestling is, but I understand wrestling is all about theatrics and stuff like that. However, essentially, when you break down a wrestling match, why not just go for your finisher as soon as the match starts?
Yeah.
And just win. Why draw
Sweet
it
chin
out?
music. Boom. There you go. Match over.
Brock's wrestling, a smart man's wrestler. Brock's just like, I'm not drawing this out. You're going to get F5'd and I'm going to beat you. When you think about it, he's smarter
we get the
than
transition
anybody
move in
else.
straight away. Boom. There's your suplex. And here's the finish. Done. No headlocks.
Why
No
waste
chin
any
locks.
time?
He's a smart man.
Anyway,
That's why he's
Eddie went
here.
over and it was a fine little match. I thought. It was completely
Yeah, no, it was
fine.
good. It was good. I was awake for this match as well, which says quite a lot. It went downhill from here, though, coming up next. Which is kind of like, it's the cross thing, actually.
Smackdown time. Well, I guess,
It's part Raw as well. Trish is yours. All right. Trish versus Stacy Keibler for the women's title with the added caveat of the Dudley boys being in their respective corners.
And Batista.
Oh, yeah, and Deacon Batista is also there. But
There was a little backstage segment beforehand with Vince, but it wasn't anything.
Oh, I was
crazy.
definitely asleep at that point.
It wasn't anything crazy anyway. It was just standard, standard Vince.
Was he
shit.
creepy?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes. I'm gonna have to go back. I need to get my fix of creepy Vince. I need to go back and watch that.
Jesus. This match wasn't good. No offense.
No.
I like Trish. I like the women. Everyone knows I love women's wrestling. But when you put Trish Stratus in there with Stacy Keibler and all the distractions on the outside, it ain't gonna go great. Let's be honest. You're not gonna see fucking, any 5-star fucking technical wrestling in this one.
I mean, Trish isn't like at her peak.
Yeah, she's not
in
quite
this.
there.
And Stacy's like fucking Bambi going around this ring, and it's just
Stacy isn't even at her peak, and
that's not. And her peak wasn't even good. It's
She was
just
never- No disrespect to Stacy Keibler. I know you're listening, Stacy. But you never claimed to be a great wrestler. You were great at other stuff. You were a great personality, and you were over as all batshit. So there you go. There's a lot of people that are fantastic wrestlers that could never get over. So what's really more important at the end of the day, I don't know. But Stacy fucking lost. That's all that's important.
Yeah, and it was a very bad bulldog as well.
Oh yeah, it wasn't good. I was like, I literally the comment. I think I can nearly like picture what I said, pretty vividly. I just went like Trish hit the bulldog, if you want to call it that. She hit the bulldog, and I just went, oh no, because I knew that was the finish. I was like, that's their finish. This isn't going on any longer. There was a lot happening on the outside too. Lots of like Devon and shit interference and
Batista came in and fucking slammed Trish. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
But Trish went over. She retained her newly won women's championship as she won it on Raw last week. So Trish won.
And then we had shenanigans after with the Dudleys kind of doing their stuff, which ended up with Bubba going through a table. Do you see when Batista like clocked Bubba in the back of the head with that box? Like it seemed like he like really fucking hit him. Like I know Bubba has like a scar on the back of his head anyway, but it looks like it just got bigger. It was like it was like an audible clunk.
Bubba always took spots really intensely. Like Bubba, he'd always get hit in the head with a chair, like straight on the top of his dome. It was like, ow. That's just how Bubba was. But he did clock him. I was like, ooh, Jesus. But yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah, it was something that existed, and
yeah, that
will
whole,
never be remembered.
That whole thing, that whole segment from when Trish Stratus's music fucking hit to the end of it when Bubba went through the table, I was like, no offense, but this was a waste of my fucking time.
And I knew that was going to be the case the moment on SmackDown that Vince said, "Yeah, this is what's happening."
Absolutely. Then we had a backstage segment. I'm so sick of saying the words Arn Anderson and Ric Flair because that seems like all they fucking do every backstage segment. But this time, fucking Vince was there. If you weren't asleep for this segment,
I watched it back and then came to it, and it was
just blah blah blah. Basically, they were like, Vince is like, yeah, you're evil now, basically.
Yeah, so we can be best buds.
And he was just talking about Austin. Yappy, 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 yappy. Standard Ric Flair bullshit.
I didn't realize how much I didn't care for Ric Flair until we started doing this series. Like, I'm not interested in any shape.
I think I feel. I see him 16 times a fucking episode on Raw, and I'm like, I've had enough of it. He's slowly creeping up to Bradshaw level for me. Like, I'm not even kidding.
That's saying something. That is saying something.
He's there that often. I'm so sick of hearing his music. I'm so sick of seeing him do his stupid little strut. I'm like, I like you, Flair, but you're pushing my fucking buttons right now. I still don't hate him as much as Bradshaw. I take that back. But more Raw action. We have more Raw matches. There's a tag match. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman versus the Hardys. Obviously, it was a lot of like Paul just standing out there and like the Hardys basically wanting to like get to Paul Heyman, but obviously Brock was in the way.
Observation though. Can you remember what Drew Carey wore at Royal Rumble 2001?
The exact clothes that Paul Heyman was wearing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Except it was more of a tracksuit.
Is that like a big-boned gentleman's wrestling attire?
Big-boned gentleman. You're trying to be so polite. That's so nice of you.
Is that what fat people wear?
Those fat people. That'd be Vince. You're fat. Put this on. Yeah, I guess so. Honestly, this match was also a bit of a throwaway. Out of all the stuff that Lesnar and the Hardys have done, this didn't interest me. Why?
It's kind of dragged on a little bit. Like Brock's already proven that he can take on both of them at the same time.
He just keeps beating them, and then Paul went over.
And he celebrated. Even while they picked up on commentary as well, like he celebrated as if he just won the undisputed title. It's just like yeah, that was me. That was all me. No, it wasn't. But you believe that, Paul. You believe what you want.
In the record books, it will always show that Paul Heyman went over Jeff Hardy.
Fair, yeah, true. But yeah, it was
fine. Like it wasn't bad. It just was more of the same. I hope this is done, which I think it is. We won't talk in the future, but I'm pretty certain we've had enough of that. Just where we are.
But again, it was another match that went less than 4 minutes.
Yeah, we should note
two in a row.
We should note that RVD and Eddie wasn't like insanely long, but it was longer than Trish, and it was longer than Heyman and Lesnar
combined.
So, yeah, combined. Booker T was backstage after this. More Raw people. Raw's all over this show. He was wearing an NWO shirt because if you remember, he was the secret member of NWO on.
Even though he didn't know.
Yeah, blah 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 blah. I don't know. Some woman was there and gave Booker T a hotel room key, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna get laid." Basically, that was pretty much the segment. honestly, that was the segment. Hey, look, more Raw fucking action. Fuck me. Okay, so this is not a good match. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not going to say this with very much like gusto in my voice because this was long and it was fun. This handicap match. Stone Cold versus Ric Flair and The Big Show. This is 2 Stone Cold matches in 2 consecutive pay-per-views that I've been bored in. Were you bored in this match?
I slept through the majority of this match.
Absolutely, I wish I could have. I should have took a midday nap.
And this is one that I didn't go back and watch.
I don't blame you. I'm 100% referring to my cheat sheet nearly word for word in this one because it's just such a blur because I was just like, this is so boring. You know when you're sitting on a couch and you're watching something and you just can't stop yawning because you're so fucking bored? And you're like, I'd rather like fucking look at a bunch of eggs because that would be more exciting than this. It was just so long. And it was just the same thing over and over and over and over. And I'm just like, you're just recycling spots. I'm trying not to sound too negative, but it just was what it was. Like, there was so much NWO shit, and there was just more of the same stuff I've been seeing on Raw for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, and then you're trying to like pad it out a little bit with like Stone Cold's antics, which are always enjoyable, don't get me wrong, but like when he does press ups or he pulled the chair in the ring or was kind of like sat in front of Charles Robinson, gave him the fingers, all this kind of shit. I mean, for the stuff that I watched, I can see. I mean, we said this at Backlash, but I can see why Austin he was just like, I'm done with this.
Anyway, Austin went over, of course. He pinned Flair. I have nothing else to add.
And hopefully that's the end of it.
No comment. Okay. Hey, Michael Cole and Taz took over Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler now. So we got some SmackDown matches. Yeah,
we had Edge versus Kurt Angle. Finally, some SmackDown stuff.
Hair versus hair, brah.
I don't think it was as good as Backlash, but that doesn't mean it was a bad match because it's impossible to have a bad match between the two. But yeah, it was pretty good. You know, everyone kind of got their stuff in, and I tell you what, one of the things I took away from this is that Kurt Angle can hit a pretty damn good spear.
Yeah. Also, he can hit an ankle lock from anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain someone could have him in a fucking, I don't know, some kind of a weird fucking choke, and he'd just have him in an ankle lock by the end of it. And I'm like, sometimes I forget how good Angle actually was. And Edge, by the way, too. Mm-hmm. This was like Edge when he was on his rise. Like, he was like trying to prove himself as a singles wrestler. So, like, these were just 2 people working to steal the show. You could sell that in the way they wrestled. They just wanted to be the best.
And they're 2 good matches in a row.
Yeah.
And again, obviously, you don't want to look too much into the future, but I know that they have some more good stuff.
Yeah.
On the way.
Yeah. Angle got his head shaved. So I'm not mad. That's like an iconic image. And Angle was bald for the rest of his career, really, for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, it was always going to be the way. I think it was his decision. He kind of just went, yeah, I'm receding. Let's just fucking go with it. Because it was never going to be Edge, let's be honest.
No, Edge wasn't losing his luscious locks.
No way, because he's scared of being ugly and he won't
all
get the
great
chicks.
wrestlers lose their hair. Kurt Angle, Molly Holly.
CM Punk lost his hair.
Let's not talk about him. I'll talk about Molly Holly, but I won't talk about CM Punk.
Yeah.
Molly Holly had very much Kurt Angle vibes with the hair. She had different hair every week, if you remember.
No.
Oh my God, Molly Holly.
I know for a fact that you did, because
absolutely,
I think you just...
I remember everything. I'm fucking weird. I don't fucking stand it. Hey, I got more Raw shit after this match, though. So... are we done with Angle and Edge? I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can be done with Angle and Edge.
Okay, we go to a fucking hotel room.
I'm actually more than happy to like end any conversation with Edge and Angle because of this segment.
So Booker T is like horny as fuck. He's like, I'm ready to go and destroy this woman, basically. And he gets to the local hotel. He's like, hell yeah, here we freaking go. It was like, you know, they got under the covers and they're getting all freaky. The lights went out, obviously, turned off the lights, set the mood, I guess. I believe they started kissing, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, it was implied. It was certainly implied that they were making out. And then fucking Goldust's voice. And I'm like, oh no.
I love these two.
Booker
my favorite thing.
Booker wasn't thrilled, as you could imagine. I believe the word "what the hell" came out.
I just love the fact that like Booker just like ran away with a thong halfway down his arse crack, by the way. And then Goldust was just fucking laying there with this woman, like wearing a frock. So he had his Goldust suit on and a frock on top of it. I fucking love Goldust.
Basically, the whole point, though, he wasn't just trying to get in Booker T's pants. It definitely wasn't that. He was basically trying to get him out of the NWO. There was a point to this segment. He was trying to get him to leave the NWO because he's been in it for 6 days.
And I hate to ruin this for anybody listening to this, but this is where Judgment Day peaks. Like,
it actually does.
It does.
Like, this was my favorite thing. I certainly wasn't tired during this. Oh, that sounds sexual. I didn't mean it like that. But, I mean, whatever you're into. If you're into that, go ahead. But I'm not going to kink shame you. But, I'm certainly awake. That again sounds sexual. I'm trying not to sound like I had an erection during this segment. I didn't. Not that I can remember. So, well, SmackDown time. Follow that, bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna need your fucking assistance with this one because I was also asleep during this match, and I had to go back and watch this at least 6 times, and it still didn't sink in. But we had the Triple H versus Chris Jericho Hell in a Cell match, which I have never seen before.
What the hell?
Which shocked you?
Yeah, I just don't understand that because it's not like the best Hell in a Cell ever, but I've watched it many times because I thought it was okay. Maybe it was just because Jericho was in it. And it was Jericho's one and only Hell in a Cell.
Is it his only one that he's done?
Pretty certain.
Jesus.
Yeah, he only ever did one.
Which is shocking considering...
He was a chamber guy. He was never a Hell in a Cell guy. And the only way he's going to get inside Hell in a Cell was with Triple H because either game.
But, I mean, it was good. But it was, I mean, I think this was the longest match on the card.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think it was like 24 minutes, I think it was when I had a look.
It was long. Not in a bad way. I don't mean there was...
No, it wasn't like Austin Taker long.
Tim White's last match as a referee. Because
was it?
You know the spot where he gets hit into the cage?
Yeah.
That's he was legitimately hurt.
Oh.
He talked about it. He said, I got fucked up in that match, and he never never refereed another match.
Oh, I did not know that.
Because you know how like Tim White was bleeding and shit.
Mm-hmm.
He was bleeding. He was.
Oh, I thought he bladed.
He was hurt. Yeah, he's talked about it many times. It's like that was the last match of his career because he got fucked up. You can find it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you can find him talking about how it was fucked.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look at that because I was watching it. I was just like, oh yes, they're beating up Tim White. That's always fun.
Yeah, he got fucking thrown into that cage. I'm pretty sure that would have been a spot that was planned, but he just obviously he isn't a trained wrestler.
Didn't get his hands up.
So he got fucked.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but you can.
I'd be interested to know like what that injury is.
I don't know exactly what it was. I watched that. That was years ago that I watched that thing, so I'm assuming it's still on YouTube. I'm kind of making that up, but I'm assuming
I'll have a look
on there. But just type in Tim White speaks on injury or something like that. I don't know. It's like they're sitting there and says that it was bad.
Oh dear.
But anyway,
But yeah, so that was actually one of the things I remembered from the match.
Mm.
And then of course that meant that they spilled out of the ring because out of the cell because you had all the refs coming in, opening up the cell, so they went and brawled outside. And I don't think they went back in again after that.
They did lots of table spots, didn't they?
Yeah, a couple of table spots. Yeah, Jericho went through the announce table with DDT, and then he kind of spilled onto the top of the cage. And then we had Barbie. Yeah, Barbie came out.
And this is why I found it so weird that you didn't know about this match, because it's the one and only Hell in a Cell match to end up the top.
Which I think should be the norm.
Well, I didn't ever thought that Hell in a Cell was Falls Count Anywhere. I thought you had to pin them in the ring. But they changed their rules, when they want to. So I don't think it is Falls Count Anywhere anymore, and I don't think beforehand it was Falls Count Anywhere. From memory. I honestly could be really wrong.
I'm trying to think of a time when a referee has actually gone up there with the wrestlers before, and I don't think I've seen it.
Well, there's only been a handful that have been up the top, but at this point, it was the 6-man, that Armageddon one, and Taker and Foley.
Triple H and Cactus, yeah.
Triple H and Cactus, yeah. But that he went through the ring in that fucking endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
The referee never went up there for that, from memory. I mean, I could be honestly wrong, and I could be talking out of my ass. I really could be, but this in my head, this is the only Hell in a Cell that ever ended on the top. I think, but
I don't remember any other one.
It was definitely the first, so that's why I was a bit confused when you didn't know this Hell in a Cell.
No, I honestly didn't know. I knew it existed, but I just never took the time out to watch it, because it's one of those things like when you ever hear about a match that's happened, you haven't seen it. Like I try and base it all on like hype and stuff like that, and there was just never any hype behind this. So I was just like, well, I'll probably give it a miss.
It was awkward timing because they obviously wrestled at WrestleMania 18, and we all know how that went. And then Triple H went and did his own thing with Hogan, and then Jericho was just kind of there. That was the antithesis of Jericho versus Triple H. It's like Triple H always had someone better to argue with. Like Jericho and Triple H was essentially Triple H versus Stephanie, and then Triple H won the Undisputed Championship, went and feuded with Hogan, and Jericho was just kind of like, over here, guys, I'm here too. And then this happened, and Triple H just won.
And to be fair, even with his little feud with Hogan, it was always more Triple H and Vince rather than Triple H Hogan.
That's true too.
Chris Jericho is. I'm actually going to say, of course, Triple H won. Fucking hell, he pedigreed him top of the cage. Chris Jericho is never going to win this thing, and I actually can't even, for the life of me, remember what even happens with Chris Jericho going forward from here. And in fact, I don't even know what happens with Triple H going on from here. I don't think he's far off leaving SmackDown, which I'm okay with, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be against it.
Same.
But you have him for a very long time, Josh. And you're gonna love every minute of it.
Listen, I was never a Triple H hater. I never was. Well, I think I'm lying. Let's move on. Triple H went over on the top with a pedigree, by the way. If we didn't, I don't know if we said that.
Yes. The cage remained intact. Nobody went through it.
We've got two really interesting backstage segments. Did you notice that? Well, obviously, Angle, the first one. Did you remember this, or were you asleep?
Angle kind of got in the makeup chair, and Edge ran past. Yeah,
the shower cap.
And then on location in it wasn't WWF New York anymore. Like they changed it, didn't they? At this point,
it's WWE The World.
That's it. Tori and Maven finally having their date, which was hinted at on SmackDown this past week.
Tori was like sitting there with Maven, and like it says it on this article, so I know I'm not making it up. She said it feels great to take my geisha off. The fuck? It was just a weird line. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was a throwaway thing, but it's obviously going to feed into something on. It will be replayed on SmackDown next week, no doubt.
Absolutely, it will be.
Can't wait. Mm-hmm. But then we're something else I can't wait for next week on SmackDown. We go into a WWE Tag Team title match. Rikishi and a mystery partner against Billy and Chuck. And this must have been really nice for you because you actually got to hear.
Yeah.
And in fact, when I watched it and the theme came on, I knew you'd be watching Judgment Day. I was just like, Josh is singing this right now. Obviously not at that very moment, but at the same point.
Well, you never know that. I sing it more than once a day. But it did feel nice to actually hear it, and I could harmonize with him. I was like, ooh, and I was like, oh, I sound great. That's a sing in the shower kind of song because I can just belt it. Living on your own is a good thing. Oh yeah, living on your own is a good thing, because I can just, it's very. I mean, I would have sex with me, but that's not the point. But yeah, this match was fine.
I guess sub 4 minutes. Like nothing really happened. Obviously, the shock was that Rico was the mystery partner. And it was kind of like building towards, like, obviously Rico was going to cost Rikishi the match so that Billy and Chuck retained. However, it didn't happen. Spinning heel kick. Famous Rico spinning heel kick.
To be fair, he does do a nice spinning heel kick.
He does. And every time he does it, it seems to, it looks pretty fucking brutal every time he does it. And he clocked insert blonde-haired red trunk wrestler here in the face, and Rikishi picked up the win for his team, inverted commas.
Yeah, his team.
And then did a nice little dance on top of the ramp as well, which lasted longer than the match.
Vintage. I was going to say Batista. I don't know where my head's at today, but it's not there.
Fucking Batista at the top of the rank doing a Rikishi dance. Fucking sparklers and the hat. And a thong. Oh, the image. I don't know what image is worse, that or you saying you'd have sex with yourself.
Who fucking wouldn't? If you're not loving yourself, you can't love other people, Dits.
True.
You got to learn to love yourself before you can love others. Well, that's what all the single, lonely people say, like myself. So, it goes me to sleep at night.
So that match was kind of the thing that existed. So, I'm not looking forward to where this goes. To be honest, it is what it is.
I'm not looking forward to where this goes. Fair.
I don't know. Like I don't remember Billy and Chuck just being this like. They're just so annoying. I guess that's the point, but they're just there, and I don't know. I don't like it as much as I think I liked it when I was younger. Maybe it's because I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit of an older, wiser head. I say wise. I use that term very loosely. But we do have another SmackDown segment, which is nice. And it is, of course, the Angle shave. And it looked like Kurt Angle may have got away, or even the Edge would be in the chair getting his hair done, but that wasn't to be. Kurt was thrown in there after being choked out.
And he hit him with the trash can lid. Tonk. Didn't he? Did I make that up?
I don't remember that.
Oh, maybe I made that up.
But I was asleep for the majority of this show, so
nice.
Anything. You could have told me hit him with a fucking, I don't know, a stripper pole or something like that, and I go, oh yeah, sure he did.
A stripper pole? Imagine someone coming in with... Oh!
Well, Billy, Chuck, and Rico were just out there, so anything's possible. Kurt Angle was in the chair, got shaved, and then got the whole, he got the whole big treatment to his hair, and then Like Edge kind of like perked him up just a little bit so he could see it in the mirror, which was nice.
What a nice person. What a lad.
And that segment went off with Your Bold chants to his music, which was nice. And you're going to hear that for a couple of weeks, I'm sure.
More than likely.
Oh, yay. In fact, no, I love this Edge Angle storyline. And I know for a fact that it continues. So I'm fucking... I need wins when I've got Hogan on my show. So I'll take it.
Speaking of Hulk Hogan, let's talk about this absolute fucking fart of a match. It is a fart. It is not even a good fart. It's one of those disgusting wet farts that you're like, did I just shit my pants? Because I'm not sure. And that's what this match is.
Yeah, I mean,
the worst chokeslam I've ever seen.
Oh my god, yeah, I was when it happened, I was like, that's obviously going to be talked about when we do recording tonight. It was like, like Undertaker looks like really fucking pissed off.
Well, wouldn't
like when he hit, he was just like, "You fucking kidding me?"
One of his finishes, and you're just like,
"You're not going to jump."
Like that. Hogan got I know you guys can't see me, but just imagine I'm putting the smallest amount of fucking gap between my two fingers. He jumped like this high off the ground, dude. Like I could jump higher, and I'm fucking not the greatest. I'm not a professional fucking athlete as he claimed to be. It was just bad. There was so many bad spots in this match. Like, why in the hell was this on last and not the Hell in a Cell? I don't know.
No.
I understand the championship is important, but holy fuck, dude. If the Hell in a Cell went on last, I would probably have a little bit more of a different opinion on this pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw in all the shenanigans on top of
Oh yeah, there's that.
what was already not a good match.
We fucking had to have Vince involved, didn't we?
And X-Pac.
Oh yeah.
Because why wouldn't you?
That makes fucking sense.
Am I reading that right? Did X-Pac? No, X-Pac wasn't on there. Why am I fucking saying X-Pac was there? He wasn't there, was he? I've still got that
that's
fucking.
I was like, what? And then I was just kind of like, yeah. And then I was like, wait, no, that's.
I merged the fucking handicap one and this. So that's shenanigans.
Like, you seen my face? I was like, what? And then I was like, yeah. And then because I was just trying to be nice, and then I was like, that's not right at all. What were you watching?
X-Pac wasn't in this. It was just
wanting to be. Honestly, it probably would have made more sense than what happened. Would have been better than the fucking choke slam that happened.
I mean, at least the second choke slam was. I mean, it wasn't great, but it at least got a little bit of air.
Certainly got more air. Well, anything would be more air than what happened. And X-Pac was there apparently.
X-Pac was there too, in spirit.
Amazing.
It was. I mean,
hey, at least Hogan lost.
It's something I knew was happening. I knew.
Fantastic for me.
I knew Hogan was dropping the belt at Judgment Day, so I was excited for that. But I still have Hogan on my show, so
I don't. Haha.
But now I have Taker. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you get Taker.
I like this.
I still get him.
I like this iteration of Taker.
Yeah, Taker's not my favorite Taker, but I like Taker like this.
And I can't remember what he does.
Is this your favorite version of Taker?
Biker Taker, yeah.
I'm Ministry Taker. I love Ministry Taker. Mainly because of his theme song. It was fucking gangster.
Oh, that is very, very good.
His best theme song.
GMB. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's so like dark. Like it makes you feel something. You're like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as a kid watching that, I'm like, holy fuck, this is intense. And Stephanie on the cross and everything.
Oh.
Where to, Stephanie? Ah! Classic.
That's reminding me of that Teddy Long thing.
Buckle up, Teddy. And then it goes all purple with the smoke. I'm like, oh boy. Classic Undertaker abducting people. What a lad.
But there's a reason we're talking about other stuff that isn't this match, by the way, because it was terrible.
Hey, he went over. He's the champion. At least it's the end of Hogan as the champion.
Attacked Hulk afterwards as well, which was nice.
Oh, it's a nice little nail on top of the coffin, I guess. Get what I did there? Because he's the dead man.
Oh.
I make jokes too.
And that was it. Went off the air. Boom, just like that. That was Judgment Day in a nutshell.
Yep.
There wasn't really much enthusiasm for this show, as you can tell.
I'm trying to look
Like,
on the
I'm
bright
not-
side. There was no
I'm
Bradshaw.
not gutted. Well, there's no Bradshaw. Yeah, there was there was Hogan though, and Rick, and some form of NWO.
X-Pac was in 2 matches apparently. Like
He was in 2 matches tonight. Yeah,
it was a lot. I mean,
no, it was. I mean, I'm gutted because
don't try and fucking put a cherry on top of this. This was not a good show.
no, it was a good show, but I'm just gonna say, like, I'm gutted because we on last week's show we were saying, like the card looked really good, and we could actually have a little bit of a treat on our hands here, and we just didn't.
The Hell in a Cell was fine. Edge and Angle was fine.
That was it. Well, Eddie RVD was good. So you had 3 good matches essentially,
And then the rest of it.
and then the rest, yes. So probably about 20 minutes worth.
Of
I'll say
pure
that no,
shit.
the Hell in a Cell was 20 minutes long, so
The Hell in a Cell was
30
fine.
minutes.
I will give credit to that because that wasn't bad by any stretch of the word. It just wasn't like a fantastic Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah. So I think, half an hour of a 3-hour show was good. Everyone else was a pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we go into, I don't know what pay-per-view's up next.
King of the Ring?
Ah.
Perhaps? I don't know. We'll certainly find out on Raw and SmackDown next week. I'm sure they'll tell us. One thing that we didn't talk about it was on Raw last week. It's on the pay-per-view this week. Was that the boning in the back of the car and then the WWF logo turning into the WWE logo. I was like, that's quite the steamy ad.
With Mark Henry's old theme music playing as well.
Yeah, why was that playing? It was like, it's sexual, baby. Yeah. I was like, what the hell is this?
Gonna get it on tonight.
I was like, huh? I'm like, what the fuck? It was weird.
That was what I was like. What the fuck is going on here? Because we didn't get that on SmackDown because maybe PG can't be showing that stuff.
No, that's naughty.
It's naughty. And something else I actually noticed as well: the undisputed title still has WWF on it.
Oh, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Rough. Haven't got it updated yet, I guess. Maybe all the titles do. We just haven't noticed.
Yeah, because I think it was like a little closer. It was when the belt was being put on his waist. I was just looking at it, I was like, that's definitely an F. They haven't changed it.
Haven't got the
So-
new championships in yet, I see.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was Judgment Day. It was shit.
Yeah. But I'd say, actually, no, really thinking about it, it was probably worse than Backlash. If
Yeah,
not.
I agree.
A par at most.
I don't know. I'm really
I just-
disappointed.
I just hope King of the Ring, if King of the Ring is what is up next, I just
think it
hope
is.
there is something there.
Honestly, could be lying. But I'm pretty sure King of the Ring is next. Because it's like May, June is King of the Ring. I'm pretty sure. July. SummerSlam is in August. I don't fucking know. Honestly, we'll find out next week when we watch Raw and SmackDown. Honestly, so no voting this week, everybody. No voting.
No voting.
No voting.
So you can save Dits a victory for one more week.
Yeah, pretty much.
That big 7 will have to wait.
This bitch. Yeah. Well, what do you got to plug, Dits?
Obviously I got my own show, Dits on Wrestling, the Dow Pod. Episode dropped yesterday, AEW for Dummies. I don't watch AEW.
Can relate.
So I just wanted Ant, my co-host, just to kind of like sell it to me in some way, shape, or form. And to be fair, he did. Despite the fact obviously they've got no crowds and all that kind of stuff. The stuff that he did, like hone in on, like the tag division. People who are potentially going to be in the main event scene in the next couple of years, and the tournament that's going on now for the TNT title. He sold it to me pretty well. So I'm going to tune in this week and watch AEW and just see where it falls. So I'm going to have a bonus episode on the show this week, so look out for that, and it'll just be my thoughts on it. This week we have a new format. I say a new format, but a new series kind of thing. It's like the pilot. I like pilots on my show. Just throw stuff at and see what sticks. Throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And this is another one of those things. And I think it's going to do really well. We've got a guest lined up. I don't want to say who it is because I don't know if it's going to go through or not. But no, I'm looking forward to it. So just keep an eye out for that as the week goes on for what it is.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
Do that.
At Dits on Wrestling on Twitter.
Yeah, go follow Dits. What have I got coming up? I've got this will air like pretty much. You'll still have time. You can go to my YouTube tomorrow and find Dits is involved. It's 10 podcaster little gauntlet thing for a $50 gift card to Pro Wrestling Tees. And it's just on 2K20, completely simulated gauntlet match. We'll see who wins that and gets to spend some money on Pro Wrestling Tees because, hey, why not? So there's that. On Wednesday on the Josh Robinson Show, I had the most unique chat maybe ever. It is a chat about essentially nothing, but about everything at the same time with both Jordan and Robert of Royally Rumbled. It is one of the most long overdue chats I've ever waited for. We just have never been able to get a time to chat, and we finally did. And we recorded for about an hour and a half and talked for about 4 hours. So,
nice.
It was a lot of fun, but it's essentially a fly-on-the-wall conversation that they're my favorite podcasts to do when we literally said we have nothing to talk about. And we just seen what happened. And we got good content out of it. So that'll be out on Wednesday. And you'll see all my other stuff that's going to be out in my little post that I normally do in my pinned tweet for stuff on the Josh Robinson Network. I'll be continuing with Until Dawn on my Twitch channel at some point this week. I've just been busy. Other than that, normal old shit. Watch my TikToks. Basically.
Yeah. Oh, I surpassed 100 followers on TikTok today. Hooray.
I think I'm at 90. I'm at 90 followers. Get me to 100 people. But like my TikToks have been doing well lately. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm into this.
I've got a little bit of an obsession with TikTok. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, me too.
Like, I don't actually go on Twitter that much because of TikTok.
Oh, I just post my TikToks to Twitter and then make people watch them, and if they don't, and if they get angry at me, I just tell them to unfollow me.
Oh, there we go. 115 followers. I'm doing well.
You're doing well. You're doing well. I've been getting lots of likes on my videos, so that's good. Not to brag, anybody, but
I put up. This is where TikTok is like fucking. I hate this to become a TikTok episode, but we both really shit at outros, so this is what it's going to be. I could put effort into a TikTok, right, and spend a good half an hour to an hour fucking doing it. And I've done that a couple of times, and it gets 14 fucking views. The one I did where I did like Adam Sandler's rap on Phone Wallet Keys took me an hour to put together, and it got 14 fucking views. And today I did one, like, it's just a stupid little effect that you can put on, an interactive effect. Remember that stupid Flappy Bird game?
Yeah,
well, instead it's like a fly,
yeah,
with your face on it, and you
blink
and it moves. Yeah, 787 views on that. 74 likes so far. I've got at least 20 odd followers out of that, and it took me 15 seconds to do.
Like I put up
ridiculous.
So I can have like stuff that I actually put effort into, like you, and I get nothing. And then I put up one this morning that's about my fucking kettle, and it's already like it's been up for an hour, and I've already got like this like fucking heaps of people just fucking commenting on it and liking it. I'm like, what is this? I put effort. I'm just not going to put effort into it anymore. The dancing one I did yesterday got more fucking stuff on it than that.
It's fucking ridiculous, isn't it? I just don't get it. So, just no effort on TikTok. That's what it is.
I love TikTok so much, and I'm not even ashamed about it anymore.
No, I'm not.
I will happily tell people. I don't care. Like, if people come up to me at work and they're like, I seen your TikTok, I'll be like, can you go through and fucking like them all then? Because that'd be really nice.
And throw some comments on there as well. Apparently that's
just
good for the
do
algorithm.
something.
Get that in there.
I set up an account for my mum yesterday just so she
Nice.
could go through and like all of my TikToks. I said, don't you dare post on here because I don't want you to post on here, but you go through and like all my TikToks whenever you see it. And she agreed. She was like, yeah, all right. I was like, thanks, Mum. I don't want her to post on there though because that's embarrassing. I'll block her. But
No, please do.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I will block her actually. My mum is embarrassing. I think they all are, aren't they? To a certain degree.
Yeah.
My mum is lame. My mum makes the lamest jokes, and I'm like, you need to stop talking forever. Just stop talking, no more. But you know, she's a lovely lady. Other than that, she's one of those mums that are on Facebook and they post in those dog groups where they post pictures of each other's dogs to other mums, and it's like,
Yeah.
stop it, mum, stop. Or she'll like try to write a comment on Facebook and she'll accidentally make it as a status. So bad. I'm like, Mum, stop. And I'll comment and I'm like, Mum, take this down. I don't know how.
Bless.
Yeah, bless my mum. Lovely lady.
Bless.
But yeah, okay, well, we probably are the two worst people for outros in the history of outros.
Oh god, yeah.
I'm great at intros. Sign me up for an intro, but I don't know how to end a show.
Just talk about TikTok. That's an outro these days.
You think I'm going to fucking edit this out? Absolutely not. I'm not editing this out. I'm not going to. It's just not happening. So this is the only way I know how to outro. So have a nice day. Like this podcast or whatever. What are you doing? I don't even know how to. I'm talking to TikTok. View this podcast, like it and comment, and follow me. Like, what the fuck do you do on a podcast these days? You
subscribe.
Like yeah, subscribe.
Review.
Do that.
Fuck that. Me.
Review it. Shit. Oh my god, what a shit. Bye, everybody.